the Stinky Popcorn Boys.
We watch movies and eat popcorn. And you're stinky.
Hello. We are the Stinky Popcorn Boys. Three boys talking about movies or shows and how they made us feel.
Indeed.
I am Patrick Basquel, and I am I'm a fan of Billy Joel. That's just an honest truth.
I'm John Gilardi, and
clearly we didn't think of these. You got it.
I want to look over a city and
Jerk it.
Just let it know how I feel.
And I'm Christian Ames, and I'm really happy my head hasn't blown up yet.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
So, full spoilers. Let's just open the gates.
This is season 2 of The Boys.
So if you've
I mean,
seen
we
The
could
Boys.
just talk to season 2, season 1. We just
Yeah.
talk about
Oh,
the
yeah,
boys.
just The Boys in general.
Full
But we will
spoiler.
be talking about seasons 1 and 2 in full.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen them,
Again, full spoilers. We're going right for it. So
Yep.
watch it.
Homelander jacking off.
Amazon Prime, if you got it, it's right there, baby.
Yeah.
Go ahead, watch it up. Also, if it's not your bag, don't watch it. Don't worry about it. What's sort of the synopsis of The Boys? What's our sort of elevator pitch of
It's
it?
kind of where I would almost say the realistic version of superheroes being in the world. They would be commercialized, exploited. Mm-hmm. They would not always be good people. They would be more like celebrities.
Yeah.
You know?
And guess where they come from? Good old Nazi German engineering.
Yeah.
That's where they all started. But yeah, I there's a lot of parallels to the real world and corruption and corporations and all that stuff, politics.
It's a huge
which
satire
makes the show.
on American politics and American media and the American public. The public that gets fed media and stuff from media and politicians. It reflects on those people who consume that. I guess it's on consumerism. You know, it's an overall American satire, and I love it. And I love that it doesn't take a side and it goes after everyone equally.
Yeah.
It goes after, the Midwest American traditional family values, and it goes after, the SJW, liberal college student kind of one. Mm-hmm. You have like the hard politicians, and you have literally an AOC ripoff. And then I don't know, it's everywhere. And it's a social commentary on things today and things of America yesterday. It's also really funny.
Yeah.
In a very dark way.
I think it's pretty great because it's a satire of the current media, like, because there's so much fucking superhero shit.
Yep.
And it's all like, it's at its base. I mean, it's just great. It's just a lot of fun. Like, there's times where you can tell that it's based off of a comic book because it gets a little like on the nosy, but I'm like being nitpicky here. It's like, it doesn't even bother me because it's so it's so just like, hey, there it is. This is a real world comic book, but it also very much feels like it takes place in the real world. And I think that's one of is like, there's real ramifications to everything that anyone does.
Yep. Which is awesome.
I really want to see the Vought Cinematic Universe film. What is it called? The Rise of the Dawn of the Seven. I want to see the full movie. I want them to make that full movie because it looks like it'd be so funny. I want to see Homelander when he's acting, when he's not just doing his charade.
That feels like an incredible waste of their time. But it also it saves in special effects and stuff because they can actually just lift the bus or whatever.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about that because they had the little green monsters walk by for the special effects guys.
Oh yeah,
on the set.
Yeah. I just every time they showed, I think they started that story arc in season 2, right?
Yeah, they were starting.
Anytime they showed the clips of it, I just wanted to see the whole movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's like in The Office with
Project
or
Midnight.
Threat Level Midnight.
Threat Level. Yeah. Oh man,
the movie within the movie.
I want to see that. So I also want to see clips of Homelander's other movies that he talks about, like Rise of the Homelander or whatever.
There's one that's like ridiculous where he says Rise of the, it's like
the
Rise
light
to the Sky or something like that.
Yeah.
Homelander, Rise to the Sky.
Homelander, maybe. the light. There's like there's dark side of Homelander and the light side. Like clearly there's
he's like maybe it's Rise of the Light. It's something that's like
super.
Like, this is like a fucking what is that? What does that title mean?
And I love how proud he is too when he's telling his son. He's like, "Oh yeah, your dad's in a lot of movies." It's like, and I bet they suck.
Yeah, and I bet you he thinks they suck too.
Who's your guys' favorite character? No, rather, who's your favorite superhero?
Okay.
And then who's your favorite? I guess who's your favorite boy? The boys.
Okay.
All right. Let me think about this.
I really came to like Frenchie in this season.
Yeah.
I think he was really developed. He actually had a flashback story arc, which is interesting and not normal for this format that they tell the stories in. I like Frenchie, and I like, is it Kimiko?
Kimiko.
I think I love her performance.
Yeah.
She was just fun to watch on screen, and like the subtlety and their tension, their relationship. I really like that. So kind of as them as a pair, I really like them out of the boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd say for my favorite one of the boys is probably Mother's Milk. They started to explore his backstory a little bit this season, so I'm really excited to see where that goes. Especially like I didn't read through the comics entirely, but I know a lot of the lore from the comics, and he has some very fascinating backstory, which I won't go into. I don't want to spoil stuff for anybody who might want to read the comics and stuff, but they kind of explored a little bit of that with his backstory, with his father being killed by Vought, quote unquote. We don't really know if he was killed by Vought, but he was investigating Vought and how that has driven him to do what he does. So, and I just think he's a great character. He's always been super nice to Huey.
Yeah,
he has.
And I'm excited to see what comes of him.
I think it's interesting because I don't I don't think Huey is there to be liked. He's kind of like he's like a surrogate where you're like, oh, I'm kind of Huey.
And he wasn't in the comics either. He wasn't really meant to be liked either. So that's funny that you say that, because
he was based off of Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
like in the comics, it's literally
but
Simon
his
Pegg.
character, speaking to what Patrick just said, his character wasn't really meant to be liked. It is just like a surrogate, and sometimes you're like, what the fuck are you doing, Huey? Like,
yeah.
But
he is very much like the moral center. Like I feel like if they have rules, like then they're like Huey is allowed to break the rules and react in Huey ways. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. I guess my favorite of the boys is probably Billy Butcher.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty
good cunt for saying that, mate.
Thanks. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
I want that man I want to gain that man's respect.
I know. Like I want him to be like, right, good job.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Well, I liked his performance, or the character's portrayal of because I think they kind of build it into this one where he's like, he doesn't like everyone. And so there's moments where like he has that silent approval. It's like, and the subtlety in portraying that is really well done.
I think the 7th and 8th episode is really what did it for me, where he meets his dad, or he sees his dad again, and they talk about Lenny. And then, is it Lenny? Yeah. And then whenever Huey gets rolled over in the car, and he's like, Huey, go! And then, I like this show because Homelander is an asshole, and he's a fucking monster, but they made him that way, and it hurts him.
Yeah.
You know? And he, like, is so fucking good because it's like, there are human beings. They're just human beings.
Well, I like that Homelander is unequivocally a dickhead, but there's enough moments of vulnerability, or enough moments of like, okay, like him justifying like that. Ryan. Mm-hmm. That Ryan, like he's like, you can't deprive him of the things that I was deprived of. You know, he needs to get out there. And I was like, that's a good point.
That was the episode about the father, because that episode they showed both Homelander's like background. Also, that's when we met Billy Butcher's. It was like a very father-centric episode, and I loved that scene. Yeah, because I was gonna say my favorite superhero is Homelander in this show, just because there is depth to him. Even though, again, he is evil, he is objectively a monster, a terrible person, but you see the reason why he became a monster.
Which is like, I think that seeing the reason why Ted Bundy became Ted Bundy doesn't excuse the fact that he is Ted Bundy.
Exactly.
You know, it's still just like, fuck, there's a scared 6-year-old boy inside that fucking terrifying man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I think like which makes him even more interesting, is the restraint he holds for his reputation.
Yeah.
So it's like, how bad will he go? Like, will he break and go full supervillain, or will he never, because he wants to be loved.
Yeah.
And like that keeps him in check. So there's like this weird feeling like where's he going to end up? Is he going to stay this perceptively neutral kind of stance, or is he going to just go full bad? Or maybe he'll surprise us and maybe turn a leaf or actually make a sacrifice or
like that
something.
Would be I was waiting for
So he could easily go either way, which is pretty cool.
Cuz I was waiting for him to turn on like
the Nazi.
Yeah, whenever Stormfront is like I'm gonna like if she's like I'm gonna fucking kill this kid or I'm gonna kill Becca or whatever, and it's like waiting for him to show up and be like, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't do that, please.
Which we got a tiny bit of when Ryan chooses to go with Billy.
Yeah.
And there's like, well, then again, Maeve shows up and uses his ego to stop him because he probably would have tried to kill him.
Maeve Ex Machina in the final episode, by the way.
They were building to it though.
Yeah. I was like, the fact that it happened once was fine. The fact that she showed up a second time at the last moment was like, whatever. But I did like that. I liked her coming in as like the kind of American, like, fuck off crap bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like a little sense of like.
I really wanted them to finish her off there. I wanted them to finish her off there so
there's
bad.
a lot of people theorizing, is Stormfront gonna...
Oh, she's definitely Vadering.
She's gonna Vader.
They
Yeah.
definitely
I
got her in a back to tank
Mecha
somewhere.
Hitler.
I love the moment when Homelander like laughs and cries in that scene when he's covered in blood, and he like
Oh yeah.
when Ryan chooses Billy and he does this like pathetic, like he laughs and cries, and I just loved it. Like Anthony Starr's performance there was so perfect because you see actual hurt in Homelander a little bit. Even though he's a monster, you still kind of are like, oh, okay, you've never had a family, and this is like, even though this Nazi bitch, that was essentially your family. That was the girl you loved, you know? That was your Becca.
And there's like a moment of pride too, where he's like, did you do this to his son or whatever? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm so glad, but also you fucking did this thing to me.
Yeah. Also, his fucking laser vision, like it wasn't just a little beam. The whole screen went white. Like, what was that? Like nuclear, not nuclear.
Yeah, it wasn't really well defined because I guess.
Could have been an editing
the results of that explosion were 100% plot, but or it could have been an explanation of his power. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But my favorite hero, it's a hard one because I liked.
I don't want you to take mine, so I'm gonna. Okay, go ahead. You're gonna take mine. I know it. I feel it.
Is he
no,
green?
I know who it is.
Is he green?
No. Okay, we're good. Keep going. Say yours.
I mean, I have a bunch of other ones that I would pick, but I'll go with the Deep. Mainly because it's so unconventional, and it's just like he's a meathead idiot who's been kind of like told what to do, and he's like the varsity quarterback, you know, who's not that bright, but he lives a good life based off of that. He probably has his parents are lawyers, and his path is set for him, but all of a sudden he gets derailed and cast aside, and the Deep's just dealing
rightfully
with that.
so,
yeah.
Rightfully
yeah.
so,
and it almost. I don't know. It's so interesting and stupid. Like he's like a superhero, and he's like a mockery of God.
He's
Tom Cruise.
He's pathetic.
Tom Cruise, but the Aquaman, because he has powers with the ocean, and he has gills, and there's so many like
he's
self-esteem issues he has with his gills exposed, and like there's a girl that like wants to like mess with it when
and he's like, no, please
when
don't.
When he gets his gills, and the farting noise that his gills make.
Yeah.
Also, who does the voice of his gills? Is it? I thought it was Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt.
It is.
Yeah,
okay.
he's just doing voices for things.
And when he's
You gotta,
singing with
dude.
his gills,
he's got a good voice.
I will say my favorite Deep moment is when he's at the water park. Drunk and he's yelling at kids like, fuck you fuckers. He's just like washed out, and I love like him like loving his sea creature pals, and like the fact that he'd go to lobster restaurants and or like the goldfish at schools.
He's got the lobster, and he's like, I'm gonna get you out of here, buddy. And they fucking chop the lobster up, and he's so defeated, and he's such a coward that he doesn't even. He's like, wait, stop, I wanna. And it's like,
Oh, God.
Or when he comes to the rescue with his army of sharks, which is cool. That was cool to see. But when he comes up on the sperm whale, riding its dorsal fin or whatever,
Yeah.
he looks at them and it's just like, it's so goofy. And then Billy
yeah.
Butcher fucking drives a speedboat through the sperm whale. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That was a brutal.
Oh
I
my
felt
God.
so bad. Well,
Lucy, poor Lucy.
Lucy. I love. Also, speaking of, Patrick, let's go back. Who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero is Black Noir.
Yes,
because
The peanut allergy.
because the peanut. Well, and I think. Do you guys know why that's his like big his weakness? Is because the actor playing him has a peanut allergy, so they were like, what if that was just his weakness?
That's hilarious.
And so, I mean, and also maybe that's just something I heard wrong and it's in the comics or whatever.
It's definitely not in the comics.
Okay, well then I think that that's right. But I just love that we keep getting like little touches, like like he was when they found out about the V, he's like crying, holding a teddy bear or something like that, or he was sitting there.
He was watching on his phone.
Yeah,
and he starts sobbing.
He starts sobbing, and there's just so many like good little things. He starts playing the piano, and you're like, who the fuck is this dude? Mm-hmm. But we don't ever know, and he just, oh my God, I just love it. I love it. I love him. I'm not sure what his powers are. He's just like super strong Batman.
I do want to give a little bit of comic spoiler because they're not only because they're not doing it with this show. I know for a fact, but in the comics, big spoiler for the end of the Boys comics, but again, they're not doing it with the show. They've showed that. But in the comics, Black Noir is a clone of Homelander who is even stronger than Homelander, who is kept around to keep him in check.
Oh.
So at the end of the comics, they have this duel, and Black Noir beats the fucking shit out of Homelander and essentially kills him.
Nice.
But they kept him around, and they never had to actually activate him, so he went crazy because he was been kept around his target, Homelander, but was never allowed to actually kill him. So when he finally does snap, he just like absolutely loses it. But we started to see a little bit of Black Noir's face in season 2. So I know for a fact they're not going to do it. A lot of people are theorizing like
a Deadpool ripoff.
What's that?
Like a Deadpool.
Yeah, or I saw a bunch of fan theories that he might be a clone of Stan Edgar or something, but it's definitely not. It's definitely not Homelander.
That would.
Yeah,
that would make a little bit more sense to me.
There's a lot of cool theories about.
Well, I hope that we never figure it out. Honestly, I was also really hoping that. I was like really hoping, but also like I'm fine with how they did it. Whenever he like shows up and it's like at the house and he's hiding on the roof and stuff. That I thought that he was gonna be like, "Hey, I'm here to help," or whatever, but he was not.
Yeah.
I mean, no one really turns to help. Like Maeve comes in, but it's more so internal conflict of being good and bad and like the wrong she's done, but she's still going to be a part of the Vought machine.
Which is interesting too, that Starlight's still a part of it and that Vought still allows Starlight to be a part of it.
Yeah, because like
she is
they
like
should know, but I think it's all PR, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, fuck, we had a Nazi here, like
yeah, we
maybe
kind of gotta like
swing this, like, bring Starlight in and swing it.
Yeah.
But I think Starlight was more interesting this season.
I liked her first season. I liked Starlight's. Yeah. I can't say that she's my favorite, but I think that I liked
her as the civilian pedestrian about more, and I think more so because like in the first season she's an innocent, like she's just innocent and sees like the good in everyone, and she's like comes from a quintessential middle class, nice
American Christian household.
Yeah.
So like in the second one, she's seen some shit. She's been through it. She sees what it's like out there, and I think I like that version. It's interesting, and like when she kills that guy, and she's like, "Fuck!" Like when he pulled the gun, all I thought is, "Get the fuck out of the way," and that's when Billy Butcher's like,
"Right,
yeah,
Job."
Yeah,
but
I love how Billy eventually starts to get respect for her. It's so subtle and beautifully done. It's like, hey, maybe not all soup's so bad.
When they go to North Carolina, very well represented.
Yay!
Yay, Confederate flags and holy bad things.
Well, we are the bathroom state, so
Yeah, that's us.
HB2.
Good that
Which
we know what hill we're dying on here.
I think we voted.
How dare you be in our bathrooms and just try to do natural bodily functions?
We voted him out, so I think that.
Yeah,
I think we were just talking about that on the last episode.
or wherever that one falls.
Or wherever it happens.
So
eventually.
the moments. I mean, this thing is full of them. What do you guys think about Stormfront? And what do you think about her being a Nazi? And like, did you see that coming? I saw the Hitler Youth knife on the chest, and I was like,
Huh.
she's gonna be a Nazi. But that was like moments before the reveal.
I thought her name was interesting from the beginning, Stormfront. I'd be like,
which is the name of a Nazi operation, right?
Yeah. And a lot of their stuff had to deal with like storms, and again in retrospect, Stormfront, Blitzkrieg, and she has lightning. Hers is her power, so it's like she's a lightning storm.
Question is, did she have the lightning power when she was Liberty?
Yes.
Yeah.
As the resident comic expert here, Stormfront was a man in the comics.
Yeah, I knew that.
But was also a clone of Homelander was a clone of Stormfront in the comics, or they used Stormfront's DNA to create Homelander. So essentially in the comics, and I don't know if this is true for the show, but interesting fact to know, every time they reuse the DNA from other soups to create new soups, it makes them stronger. So, which would explain that Ryan is quite possibly much stronger than Homelander. So, interesting
And
fact.
it's natural
but,
too. Well, not natural, but
yeah, he was the first natural born.
which I don't buy. How much does, especially it's like established in the comics that they're just boning all the time. Like, do they sterilize them or? And like,
well, that's what
or
he said.
why
He's like, I didn't know that I could have babies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I know that he said that in when he was trying to find Becca too. Which I said this when we were just talking about it before we were recording, but the actor who plays Becca has like the hardest job.
Yes.
Because anytime that she shows up, she is like at an emotional peak, and like she's like always on the brink. I never feel like it's undeserved. Like it never feels like she's pressing or anything. It's like she's always on the brink of like breaking down because she's, oh my God, she has been through it. And I just like applause to that actor.
Amen. Yeah. And we were just talking about this, if it is the actual previous episode where we were talking about The Conjuring, Lily Taylor and Toni Collette from Hereditary being able to play that dread and that like, oh, I'm defeated, fuck my life, like
constantly.
The entire time you see her on screen, she is
like, she's always on it.
Destroyed.
Because anytime that we see her, it's either Billy Butcher's there and she's like, oh my gosh, this is a thing that I can't have anymore, or I have to protect my son, or Homelander's there and it's like she's got to feel an amazing amount of tension as he is A, her rapist, B, the father of her child, and then kind of trumps everything, like a literal god who could probably rip her apart with 2 fingers.
Yep.
And she still doesn't fear him. Well, she does, but like, she stands up to him.
Yeah.
She fears him, but she also fears what he could do to the kid.
Yeah. Because again,
keeps her not in check, but that's what
the balance, the checks and balances of it.
Yes.
But she's got to be like constantly on edge. Anytime she's it's like, oh my God, I can't imagine, man. Can't imagine.
I mean, that stuff's stressful.
I love when Homelander throws Ryan off the roof. That's so fucking funny. When he just throws him off the roof.
He just throws him off.
It's such like,
he's like,
this show is just sprinkled with moments like that are either like really like at surface value, just brutally like just insane, disgusting, but so funny. Yeah. Just oh man.
But also like just straight and like right where like they always, it's like I've talked about like going the third step where they're on the plane and they're saving the plane, and like something that people have talked about with like the surface area thing where she's like, well, just get out and guide the plane down. And he's like, with fucking how? I'm either gonna break the plane in half or I'm just gonna punch a hole through it. Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
And then whenever Maeve is like, because physics have always like poked holes in like the Superman like guiding the plane down thing. where it's like it doesn't work with physics because it's too like pinpoint. It's like his hands aren't big enough of the surface area, so like the pressure that he is. Yeah,
that makes sense. Because at first I thought he was just being lazy, like, I don't feel like doing it. But that actually makes sense with the mass of the plane and how fast it's moving,
and the amount of strength that he would have to use to adjust its flight.
Yeah,
like he would either like push through it or he would you know.
Okay, all right. So Homelander's not evil.
Well, but then whenever he's like, "Wait, are we gonna fucking just bring this kid so that they can say that we left everybody else to die?" No.
Yeah. And it's pragmatic, I guess.
I guess.
I mean, what was he supposed to do? I guess is the thing.
I mean, I guess ideally you would save as many people as you could.
Yeah.
What would you like if you were? Oh my God, what would you do?
You would have to drop Maeve off in the water and tell her to chill out.
Yeah, you would have to drop them all off in the water.
And then just do 2 by 2 as fast as you could.
Yeah.
Maybe put them in the water, just 2 by 2.
Ooh, what you could do maybe is so you've got the inflatable rafts. You have the side.
Yeah, there's creative solutions for sure.
But also,
he didn't have the time to think.
How much time
this.
do you have?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not defending Homelander and his decision. I'm just trying to figure.
Homelander apologists. Yeah. This podcast is full of them. Apparently.
Oh my gosh! No. He is a rapist. So no apologist here. I just don't know what the solution. Like I don't know. Even with his.
I think 2 by 2 in the water.
2 by 2 in the water.
And then.
But that's. I mean, how do you choose the 2 by 2? Then you create panic up top. Crisis management. Jesus Christ.
I mean, maybe leave Maeve on it, but like, how just indestructible is Maeve? Could she survive a
crash? He said you're gonna die with them. Yeah. Remember? Because she wanted to save them, and she was like, "Would you rather die with them?" So she clearly, but she can't. That's the other thing about.
But could he have maybe pushed from behind, and maybe been the engine for it?
That's what I was thinking. Like,
oh, maybe.
Or he like.
I don't know enough
how
about
far
physics.
out were they that he could have like got some kind of netting or chain or something and distributed pressure points along it and carried it from the.
Yeah, or like we just watched Dark Knight Rises. Like they grabbed the plane with the thing and they
but
pick
then
it up.
Broke.
But then it broke. Yeah.
Yeah, they broke because of where the point. I don't know enough, and I guarantee you that Homelander doesn't know enough about like science and pressure points. He's like strong laser eyes.
That's another fun thing that they make very prevalent in the comics and in the show is that Homelander doesn't have training. You don't see him like doing cool combat stuff. He literally just lands and zaps people.
Yeah.
He doesn't need training. He just he is indestructible.
Well, that's like the great thing about in Man of Steel, whenever Zod and the other Kryptonians are down and they're beating the shit out of Superman because he's just a dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're just a dude. We're beating the shit out of you because you have no training.
That's such a badass scene when Zod takes his armor off and he's like, I was trained to be a soldier or whatever. Like the moment where it took Superman years to learn how to fly. And then Zod instantly is like, I can fucking do this. Oh, so good. I love that. I love that moment. But.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
This show is good, though.
It's a good show.
I love
what do you guys?
show.
So, I guess, what are you expect out of the season 3? What storylines are you expecting?
I know for a fact I'm really excited that Jensen Ackles is going to be playing Soldier Boy, who is a parody of Captain America. But instead of being like Captain America, who's brave and will face anything, he's a total pussy. But he just pretends to be a badass. As per usual with the boys, they make a parody out of every single superhero. So I'm really excited. And Jensen Ackles, who is one of my...
I love that dude.
I love him from a lot of stuff, but from Supernatural. He plays... what's his name in Supernatural?
Dean,
right.
Jimmy.
Sammy! So he's a manly man, and my wife loves him. And we're both really excited to watch him play a giant pussy. So that's going to be fun.
I think it'll be fun for him to play too.
Oh yeah,
because he always has to play like the cool guy.
Mm-hmm. Also in the comics, again, resident comic guy.
Oh my gosh,
Homelander in the comics convinces him to have sex with him in order to like get into the 7 or something, and then nothing comes of it. So that
Okay.
I doubt that's gonna happen in the show.
I think that they said that probably wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
I read something, and I was like, and I clicked off of it because I was like, I don't want to know this much.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No, it's okay.
Just spoiling it left and right.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the comics.
I just said I maybe want to pick up and read through it.
Well,
You son of a bitch.
So the
It's
comics
fine.
are.
Would you get a
much
paper cut on your
edgier.
dick from fucking the comics so hard?
Dude, I love. Well, again, I didn't read the comics. I just like have gone through a lot of the lore. I read like the first couple volumes, but I haven't actually read all of it. But they're definitely, the show has diverted from the comics a lot because the comics are edgy just for the sake of being edgy, whereas the show balances it a lot more in a very tasteful way.
I will say there's a lot of guns in this, and the actors flag each other all the time, which they barrel swipe.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that means they're just like they're the boys, they're untrained, they're badasses, or just I don't know. That's just something I noticed. And it made me like there's a part where he has the huge 50 cal, the big sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And he points it and holds it at Starlight's head. And maybe part of me was like, huh.
He was doing that on purpose because he was going to shoot her.
Well, not when he was scoped in, when he was taking it down.
I still feel like he's always on the edge of shooting her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just have it in the background. He just flagged his wife. So that's kind of what nullifies that.
Well, for people who don't know what flagging is, John.
It's just when your barrel points at them. I went to the range yesterday and I got flagged 2 times walking inside.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's going to be one of those days here.
Oh, boy.
I mean, and that brings up the question of like when you have to aim a gun at somebody's face on camera in the same shot. Like, so whenever we work with people who have guns on set, they always make sure the chamber's empty, everything's good. But how would you go about that? Just make sure it's a totally fake gun.
There's rubber guns too. Or you can...
It would probably be rubber.
If it's real, it's super empty and unloaded.
Which even
maybe
I would
dead trigger
never
even.
feel comfortable, even if I saw for a fact that there was no bullet, I still wouldn't feel comfortable aiming a real functional gun at anybody.
I mean, you would try and help it be offset somehow.
Yeah,
That'd
like
be the
based
thing.
on the shot, the angle.
In an extreme close-up, it would have to be like a really good airsoft or fake gun or an inert gun.
Or like a rubber
Because it could be a
gun,
real
too.
gun, but it's like, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah,
Well,
take the firing pin out and...
Last year we did a John Wick music video, and I remember one of the guns I used was a rubber one, so that was like felt totally comfortable flagging everybody with that.
That's the one you hit people with too, right?
I think so. Yeah,
There was one that like looked really real, but it was like foam.
Yeah.
yeah.
cool.
I think that that was the one. That was the one.
I was surprised with how light that was.
Yeah, I think it's like used a lot for like people get blown up, gun goes flying, so they don't damage the gun or whatever.
Because that's the other thing you have to think about is like you don't want to damage that very expensive prop because it's like a gun by itself is expensive, but then also like a gun that then you've retrofitted or built out so that it is like a safe prop gun.
And it works with the right loads or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like that's also a very because you've then taken a gun and either built a new one or taken it apart and added materials to it that are also very expensive.
Yeah. So I mean,
Because you don't want that. You don't want to throw that against the wall.
there's a very famous shot in Sicario. Have you seen Sicario?
I have not seen Sicario.
It's not the shot isn't famous, but it's famous as like a movie goof. Is one of the guys has a gun in the dashboard at the border checkpoint or whatever, and he puts the gun on the like rested on the dash, and the barrel just bends like very unnaturally. It's like, oh,
Well, that's like my favorite, and it doesn't just diminish the scene for me. But in Game of Thrones, whenever Jon Snow is waggling his rubber sword as they're like charging at him and stuff.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
that's a rubber sword.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even like Gods and Generals, which is not the best movie, but there's a part where they're charging around with bayonets, and all the bayonets are flopping or bent in half, and she's like, "Oh, well, that takes." me out
But
of it.
I mean, I guess there's like a level where it's like, yeah, a sword that long would like have like a little bit of wiggle to it.
I never noticed it, so maybe I saw it and justified it that way.
Yeah, but something like a bayonet probably wouldn't, because it's pretty short.
Some are long, but not as much as these were doing it. They were very rubber. It was, I mean, it's what they had a bunch of untrained actors or reenactors on set flopping around, so I think they had to go full safety.
Yeah. I think out of Boys Season 3, I want to see more of... I want the Deep to lose more.
Yeah.
I want him to continue. Like, I want...
He didn't learn anything.
He still hasn't learned anything. I want him to continue to lose. And I want him to continue to get, like, vicious payback. Get vicious payback upon him. And then I would also like... I would like more pieces of Black Noir. I don't want to learn anything about him, but I want more disparate pieces of Black Noir.
A little more character development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am very curious about the AOC storyline.
I am too.
Because it's very, very, really, it's very based off of a very real person.
Yeah.
So it's like,
where's the line?
Where's the line?
Yeah.
So I'm just
Victoria Newman.
Yeah, I'm not more so excited, but I'm just very curious to see what they do with her, and if it's more of a commentary of politicians as a whole, or are they really zeroing in on her?
I think that she is just something that's recognizable, and like I don't think it's going to be a takedown of her. I think it'll be like more of the system.
It's not a takedown of her, but of how it could. The system has been used to boost her.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, even something as simple as the dancing video, how that was supposed to like tear her down, and actually built her up.
Yeah.
Like that was a joke in the Boys, the parallel joke. So I wonder if it's like, I don't know. I think it's just going to be a play off of media. I think
so.
Media reaction and consumption of politicians, which it's what this show explores is celebrities. You think they're great people, and it's like
no, they would laser burn you through the head with their
just get you out of there.
Just blow your head up. Do you think Victoria is pulling strings or being a string being pulled?
Well, the thing is, I don't know where she stands. I'd have to rewatch and see what she was pushing in these scenes. Right after a casual watch through, I don't know where she's going.
I think it's
probably going to be a misguided, like, she's probably going to have good intentions, but it's going to be misguided or misunderstood maybe.
I don't think it's good intentions. I don't think she has good intentions.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that, what's her power too? She just blows people's heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also haven't seen how physically strong she is either. Like if she can withstand a Homelander laser blast or something.
It'll be interesting.
But
I just don't know what her goals are.
And I think
I say they skew towards maybe innocent or misunderstood because it is based off a real person. Mm-hmm. So how bad would they make that character?
Mm-hmm.
I think that they have to. I think in order to divorce it from AOC even further, they have to go further.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that it has to be. Like they have to. Kind of how Stormfront was like a front. Obviously, for like she's like, oh, I've taken this thing and I'm manipulating the media. Like AOC needs to be kind of the other side of that. Not AOC, Victoria Newman.
Yeah.
I love AOC. I don't want to disparage her and say that she's that.
Yeah, I agree. They got to crank it up to 11.
I think they have to. And I think that they will. And they've shown us that with Homelander, with all the stuff where it's like they go all the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Homelander. He's unstoppable. What is going to be his weakness? At this point, the only conceivable thing I can think of is his son. I think we saw his son blast the hell out of Stormfront.
I don't know how much more of... I'd be curious to see how much more he's in the next season. Like, I wonder if maybe he'll be quiet for a few seasons.
Oh, no.
Also, there was Cindy as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Cindy.
I liked Lamplighter too. I like that whole.
I love Sean Ashmore.
I love how he just was watching porn because he didn't give a shit because he was about to.
Dude, those porn parodies were so funny.
Yeah.
Apparently, they shot like full on porn parodies.
Really?
Yeah, like they shot porn scenes.
So I'm sorry, guys. I got to bring back the comics again. So the guy who had his ass out and he was like, "I want all your dicks in me." So that is a parody of one of the original 7 from the comics, whose name is Jack from Jupiter, who is an actual alien from Jupiter. And his superpower is every time he says Calypso, he turns invincible for a little while. So he would have orgies where he would say his invincible word and then have a bunch of dudes butt fuck him in the ass. So that scene where he's like, yeah, I want all your dicks in me. It's just like
Wow.
another funny, like totally edgy, weird, disgusting reference to the comics.
The comics,
but those
like,
porn parodies were hilarious.
because the comics go for it. Like, there's one superhero who has to like butt f everything.
Yes, Tech Knight.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so it's like this like.
Well, he has a disorder. He has a sex addiction. So
Yeah.
anytime he sees a butt or anything remotely, like he'll fucking animate objects too.
Yeah. But then his redemption is there's an asteroid coming in to destroy the Earth,
And he butt fucks
and it
it.
looks like
He,
a butt.
he literally fucks. Yeah, he fucks the asteroid and blows it up and saves the planet. So it's actually a very beautiful redemption story.
It's so weird.
Oh man,
But yeah, that's the boys. It's a wild thing.
it is. Yeah.
So everyone go watch it if you're over 18 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then also feel like comfortable and feel like it's the first fucking scene right away of the first episode where it's just like a nice little day, having a good time.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll know right away if it's for you or not.
It's-
It's very unapologetic. It's a harsh critique on the things going on in our life. It's satire.
But it oddly has a lot of like feminist and racial values.
Well, even like the final scene, like where all the 3 girls are beating up the bad guy, and it's like, oh shit, girls get it done.
Girls do
but
get
it's like it doesn't feel like fucking Marvel.
Yeah.
I wonder if that wasn't. I didn't even think about that. If that was shitting on that moment,
It was definitely a parody of that
that
moment.
was just so bad. That's
the girl power.
So coincidentally, all the superheroes on this chaotic battlefield showed up. That were all the women. It's so
John,
bad.
you're so sexist.
I guess I am. I mean,
No, I'm just
I'd be hard pressed to find.
It was-
I bet feminists think that's bad.
Well, I bet you. I mean,
That's like the quintessential white dude trying to write. For a trans character, or for like just like that reaching.
like
and
here you
misunderstanding.
have this. It's
Yeah.
like like if I don't know. I think the moment in Infinity War whenever Black Widow and Danae are get like beaten up Proxima Midnight, and then
Who's Danae?
I can't think of her character's name, but the actress name is Danae. She was a spear Wakandan.
Oh yes,
I can't think of that.
She was
the
from
character
Walking Dead.
name.
She was in Walking Dead.
Walking
yeah,
Dead.
yeah. I forget her name in the movie too.
I feel disappointed, but anyway, I liked that moment better, where they were like, she was up there the whole time. What's she doing up there?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, I liked that moment better than like the. But that's the story of Endgame is like.
Well, it's just the age old thing of don't write a strong woman character, write a strong character. You know,
said three white dudes, 3 straight white dudes on the
Yeah.
couch.
Hell yeah, dude.
but I don't know.
I
it's
hear-
hard to disagree. Like don't write the character for the sake of making it a strong, empowered
Yeah.
character that is cliche and stupid thing. That's how you end up with the walkout. You know, just write a strong character and then what they look like and who they are.
Let them do some cool shit. Like that's the thing is like Kamiko is so cool to me. Is from my perspective, it's like she's just someone who's been wronged. It's like not about that she's a lady who's been wronged or anything. It's just like she just got wronged, and like she's trying to figure out her way through it. And like even with having like a shithead like Stormfront, like change, I think that's just an incredibly strong choice, making her a lady instead of a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that choice. There were a lot of diehard fans of the comics who were like, why are they making Stormfront a girl? But it made it so much better. She was able to hide behind the mask of SJW.
Yeah.
Like in the first episode, she's like, oh yeah, girl power. But then you come to find out she's a horrible, brutal, racist asshole.
I was
piece
so
of shit.
confused when she said the slur and killed Kimiko's brother. I was like,
Yeah.
so she just like I might think was like, okay, so it's a facade. She's a bad person, which is true.
Which was also pretty clear. She was just like killing people throughout the fucking.
Oh, duh! I didn't even think.
Yeah, she was
just like, she came in and she was just like,
she literally looked at them. Yeah, and they were all ethnic, like black people or Hispanic. Like, she was just walking through the building, like, because at first, when she first enters that building in that fight scene, it's like, oh, was it an accident? But then she's just going through and purposefully just murdering these people, these minorities.
Which also served her purpose to make it look like the super terrorist, super villain was like a real bad dude.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, the boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like you said, if I don't know, check it out, see if it is for you. Give it a shot. You'll find out pretty quick if it's for you or not. But
yeah,
it's a show we all like and we recommend to our peers and people we know enough to recommend.
I make
it to.
people watch it.
Yeah,
I strap them into chairs and I'm like, watch this show.
We did make
like
one,
in Clockwork Orange.
We did make one friend watch it
open.
so we could work on a project together.
Oh, Leon.
Yeah,
Daddy
Father
Fat Snaps. Yeah, shout out. That's one of my favorite collabs.
Daddy Fat Snaps.
He liked it though. It's not like we forced him to watch it.
He's
I'm
a,
sure
he's a
he
comic
enjoyed
book nerd through and through.
Yeah, I'm sure he enjoyed it.
But yeah, guys, this is a little bonus episode. I think we'll just throw it in midweek, just cause there's something about keeping up with the horror.
Yeah, because it is October.
It's October.
So who knows? Maybe it'll come out. Maybe this is a Tuesday. I don't know.
Who knows?
It's wild.
Who knows what this world holds for us?
Dude, you never know.
I mean, we recorded on a whim. Maybe we'll just like put it out at midnight on Wednesday for like the diehard fans.
On a Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Good time. All right, guys. I'm good.
Okay, well, as they say in New York City, I'm Starlight. I'm using this electricity to. I got the light of the stars coming out of my
You
hand.
should have memorized their song.
Or as Black Noir would say,
I'm allergic to peanuts.